Kenya wala mwaka sa nina na jibe kura ko aina na jibe gamino la sari an kamiso meme diwa kamiso sari pa ani ne ko la fa ne ko ko la fa di dai ko gamni agana diskola bulunya bagana tarindire abulunya gana kulendele banko di ngota ala diamo ko ko je ko gambe bi banko di ngam alen dima jiyo ma ke problème o da duma be jiyo gambe na nawe ko compagnie di ngam ko iso utilize no kaje ko jibo amanga problème o gambe la manda hani ma ko jibo ma ke problème o gambe banko ka so diamo ko ngai ko nawe ngari sa dinge ya ni ko gambe la mas nawe ki atande mola ko gambe la mas kunda bunda ele julo le nawe ke ko kamin jo ana ko $750 million siba after ngaje ko nawe fana e julo le soto senale ko be mi ga senale ya ga dafa million billion killing ya ko ya ko nan fo de mo de mi an ko nawe mas ko hansa sa ndo ya ko nawe la increase ko ni na ko hada bani gambe la ko kam wala ko ga nan do foaro la ko alla sarbe ni wala mi sura do bulla alla na la fa ñu kam ngada nga senale jo wala kan ma senale jo muna na ko gos nawe ko electric programme faye senale ko wani country la compagnie le de banko mi an ko imam ko fon ni le banko mo be la il y a ko da ya senale do la fu juro ka te ni wote ma fu banko di ngol kana ka so fola ila sarbe ni ngol ye wota yo ko windu na tande nyamo birenga ne sa fanke ya après gambian ni ya grade 1 to grade 5 molla salary commission do be gambe ro jani nyaade ko 3000 ama ko daga 3000 so ni increment o ko le la fala o mo ta ko ni na jibe fana ruwa gambia ni ajibe ko la ya hayma ya research ya hayma mo le ruwa gambia wan wuli killing anin kemenin tallo e ko la dundu koroni jibo ko ni be jama ko mo jama ko wuli killing keme woro wala tanse e ko dundi la e ko ni sari ko ka dundi ko ko ba na yo la ni la faro min kana le abaten la ko hamil be ruwa gambe sai yedo ko soto wuli killing keme lulu taworo wala e ko la fala ji sa ji yo bonni mola sari ko ba do lembe ko mo jam ni ajibe wuli fula keme nani anin tanani ibole fengela ka boni la sare ko sare me ka 3000 sare so we wulu fula kemena tanane boni je pour na rek gamana ko so na rek la ñu tari wala balu belen le ñaati so na jël ko mu gameno be consana bi wala na bu ka ko be ga jënd ka na ko ni kele gambe banko government ele ñantole na tanda franco e ko bes blé jol de ko di la blé jol la mi tara ko 46 blé tanane min s'il plaît mi anga ko pro de blé sola ko mi anga ko kendo ngam ni mo be ya upload mo be content upload but ça yo ko di ko pro de milla rural gambia ça en gene wo nga pro men di le ba sala la nyaadi le na tra mo me anga para sere man si yo pro la fa mare kam yo ko do mo mare ça en gene mi pro me ro ko sala la nyaadi le wala wo fana ko le me anga nawe nyanda ka so kan na gambe dimol be commandé ka because na ko nawe la contrat wala government ye contrat signé le tema do ya ko nawe kamin fo mo le banda o mo ko mo be ko so na nawe commandé na pour na e fi banku dimol ya tan dimol la ko mo ne fo ya na le ka kamin courant la ba kan ga e ka access ni banda do wan do nyafa na ko ko fo mo le ando na dimension médicale ko courant ni ay jijuma ko gambe dimo ko do ke yaay ke so courant na fa na tra fa do ke ka jijuma fu mo be hadi ni mero so sandu ko courant be num dame ya muru ni mo le abeje sa o kam be ba mo dimo be ko mandila ka mo police bundala kana gam ba ni banko be ko ni do be ko suwale ko mo be kas wa hayre ka sa ko ma ka sa wala fa ma ka sa ni kas wa la fa courant ni jiro la fa ay mum toro si moma na yel business be la fakam dafa mo yo sanke mo yo sanke mo ken dala sa ga ma fi mo 20 dala la yo ñebi yo la fa moye afana ba business la fa ni business la fa abina mo na banku di mo la kam ba yo banku di mo la bina wala toro ba so from poor bank is connected to all businesses so ne ko la fa ga ji la fa ko be la fa na mo ka mo bina toro bina mo ka wala na ko nga mo be kumande mo be nana police lo gameno lo amanke politique kuti amanke parti kuti amanke si kuti gambe de wala mo we yego ko wala jo ni ko so da ma so mi to le ma so ba to le jo sa so ba gambe be so ko be findila bantale peacefully kairo kono kana mi bi atandi na rek la ni gambe ma so kundala bi be wakani mbakela dana ko mo yanga ko la banko be mobilize mo be findi wolo wala c'est une position de ingénieur la ka tadi la ko na nyanto no prale pame di mola na findi siloka na banko be ko ne ga na nyanto ko mole so no fana sida bayla ko na gambe mo mobilize mo be soron de la sida fe ye soron ni mo findi da e findi gambe banko e na ta na tadi la ko enough is enough dafa ya sura ga me ko dafa doy mani go ga ba kayanda sen bring back the keeper tarif ko mbije ali amul nafa
because mo di biya baby ja napaka I call for ngakano ang ngamira ya call ang tapo la nyami baraka bade bani mani ko mi am mo di bekan pour mo fala sa fana because it's very important that we do the deliberation as well in one of Mandinka so people the local people that are really affected can understand what this gathering is all about. Next we are going to call the president of the Consumer Protection Consortium. He is Alpha Omar Jallo, Alpha Usman Jallo rather. He's going to say in a few words and of course to represent his institution as well. Mr. Jallo, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, good morning, everyone. I am, as introduced, I am Alpha Usman Jallo, and I'm the president of the Consumer Protection Consortium. I'm sure some of us for you, Consumer Protection Consortium. Consumer protection. I'm sure we all know what consumer protection is all about. This issue of knowledge is all about consumer protection. This is about rights. It's about human rights. Because if you are talking of electricity, water, and all, there are fundamental, basic human rights that should be provided. Okay? And the onus is on every government of the people to look at it and know that, it's a right of its citizenry to be provided with that. And key among the messages that I have heard here is about access and affordability. Affordability. We are not saying let it be provided free, but let it be affordable, and let also it be of quality. This is an issue. It's not about, yes, we are providing electricity, we are providing water, this does not need to be politicized. This is not about politics. This is not about politics. I'm sure most of you here are renowned activists. And the moment the general public see Flex Dan, see Killer Aids, and some of these young guys, they say they are up again. They might have been insinuated or, this is maybe an influence coming from the opposition. Let me make it clear that we are not here to sensationalize anything. It is just to be real and know that this is an issue which is affecting everybody in this country. Whether you are a minister, whether you are a permanent secretary, whether you are, member of, the civil service, or whether you are in the informal sector, it is affecting the business sector, it is affecting the tourism sector, it is affecting every aspect of our economy, socio-economic development. So this is a concern, and it should be a general concern for all that. So I applaud Team Gomsabo for coming up. These are the sorts of associations and pressure groups that we are looking forward to seeing. Civil society associations should be very much organized. And as a consumer protection association, we call ourselves consortium. This is what we've been crying for, that we need associations, people to come together. And it's not only about being an activist and, advocating for some other issues which may not be related to, it could be climate change, it could be issues on water, it could be issues on the high price of basic essential commodities, it could be the issue about transport, the issue of transport and infrastructure in the Gambia here, where we are faced with, this is the reality. Whether you belong to this party or that party, the reality is that we are faced with several challenges, and some of the institutions that are mandated to take care of this, in this case it is Pura. In this case we are talking about Pura. Now, okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We are not saying, well, for the Consumer Protection Consortium, I'm sure we will be engaging Team Komsaboba, and for us, we believe in dialogue, and we feel the way this thing has been, cooked by NAWEC and endorsed by Pura, we feel the necessary consultations of the relevant key stakeholders was not done properly. We will agree with Pura that yes, we have called stakeholders. Yes. Okay. The GCCPC, that is the Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, was at Pura. Some other consumer association was represented at Pura, but not the consortium for that matter, because we were taken by surprise. And the consortium supposedly should be the platform where the other consumer associations, it would be a common platform where all these other consumer associations would come. And then this is what it's like tango. It should be an apex association. So if you are reaching out, you don't look at, briefcase organizations, but you look at real grassroots, national organizations or associations that are in this country and consult with them. This is what we are saying. So we will be, of course, we will be engaging or re-engaging Pura. We will be engaging the Gambia Competitions and Consumer Protection Commission, because that is our legal avenue.
Yes.
That is where we will, if we want to seek redress, that is where we will go. So it's not all about demonstrations. And, for us, we will say that would be a last resort. But alongside, whilst there is sensitization, and both here, and I'm glad you said even upcountry, by that we would be working closely with Team Komsaboba to come up with a formal complaint. Because Team Komsaboba and all the journalists and all the police officers and all the business community are all consumers. So we will be coming together, come up with, identify all these issues, and come up with justifications why the tariff should come down. And then we would file that and engage Pura and all the other stakeholders and see whether negotiations, there is room for negotiations. In the event that that happens and we come down, it is just, inconceivable to increase tariffs, not 5%, not 10%, which are all negotiable, but 37% increment. And the multiplier effect, that what would happen if electricity and water increase, everything increases. Everything increases. Everything. Be it, the cost of the ice, cost of storage of meat, cost of transport, everything in this economy increases. The basic essential commodities that we need would increase. Is that what is ideal? Is that the way to go? Does that make economic sense? It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make even political sense. So here we are. We are going to rally together, and we are indeed very, very happy that we have Team Gomsabo in this, and we are calling on all other civil society associations to come on board, and we will engage Pura, NAWE, and the GCCPC, and from there, if depending on what comes up, then we will. Yeah, we are certain that, in fact, we will start from now working on filing a formal complaint to the GCCPC on this and bring out all justifications. Here we are. Congratulations, and we also want to thank the media for really taking this on. I want to also, on behalf of the executive members of the consumer, that is the CP, Consumer Protection Consortium, and the Consumer Fraternity, we are in support and we are in this together, and we want to thank you very much. Okay? And forward ever, backward never.
Thank you very much, Uncle Alpha Usman Diallo, President of Consumer Protection Consortium. Thank you very much for that wonderful deliberation. Now, moving on, we are going to invite Falu Galasisi, Junior, an activist, to summarize the all up because Hussein did just think so we're going to listen to Falu for that statement, just a summary.
Assalamualaikum. Begini, kita ingin ambil jauh lagi. Kita segera muncul indeks. Kita ada membuat mereka. Kita ambil kita gantian. Kita ambil mereka. So kita kena orang yang itu. Soalan boleh itu. Kita nak kena mula pada lagu ni. Kita itu mula tulang gantian. Ya kan? Si ay nguur yàgg na si ay bés waaye mbiri courant bii nii ak ndox buñ ko doolee li ko fi teg fii pour Gambien ci biir ñu ko doolee woon ci jamono occupation 2017 it was te liñ doon xeex yëpp moom moo nekk fi ko koo xam ne ni dëkk nga Gambie nga am courant ak ndox mu mun laa fekk si fi nga dëkk so loolu suñ ko doolee 2017 ñëwaat ba ci 2023 mu am ay 6 years plus su fekkee ne leena da nga ko waxoon ci groupe bu fi toog nii benn woot doo ko mun a use passé yeneen yi moo nekk consistance lu ñu fi indi tey moom moo nekk li nga xam ne moom moo dal dëkk pour Gambie mooy nawet seen increase in tarif su gaay def nga xam ne courant bi jël nañ yokka si 37%, ndox bi ñu jël ko yokka si 20%. te Gambien si ñoom ñëpp suñu xoolee xam ne PURA moom moo amee wàllu boo xam ne nii moom moo war a save public utilities yi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo nekk si biir dëkkam yëpp te ñu ak Gambien su toog seen biir kër dañu dem ba gis ne PURA nuñ ko doxalee ak nu gaay demee nekkul dëgg ba pare nekkul yoon Gambien si door nañ li xam ne soo xoolee si dex bi PURA ñu la doon wax ne lu gaay daan mun a consumer si ndox mu daan demee si $1,150 waaye 37% increment bii nii bu ñu ñëwee from $1,150 dem na ba yokku to $1,570 ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo nekk Greater Banjul area muy urban areas ñu daan consume si ndox mu daan demee si $1,780 waaye bu ko demee ba xool fu mu nekk 37% increment bi soo ko demee ba xool dem na ba eggal si $2,440 borom kër boo xam ne nii mu ngi nekk di liggéey si biir nguur gi nga xam ne pay scale nguur gi from grade 1 to grade 5 $3,000 su fekkee ne yow courant kase yaa ngi ko war a mun a fay ndox kase yaa ngi ko mun a fay si $2,440 ñaata moo laa dese $560. These are things that are not realistic su fekkee ne yii mu ngi continuer ñun gëm nañ ne corruption bi ñoo fi jógee because su fekkee ne ndox kase wala da nga ko war a mun a fay pour $2,440 naka ngaa fayee sant te te ñu ëppa doole si Gambien yi mënuñoo am seen këri bopp ku si nekk di si luwaas nga ne $5,000 soo ko denc pour weer bu dee bu nekk da nga am pour denc $5,000 for 33 years pour nga am $2 million kër bu baax mënut laa amal $2 million si bis ko ndax nit mun naa am 5,000 sa fu fekkal su fekkee ne yaa ngi jël ndox ba pare di ko fee te Gambie soo dooree CRR dem ba URR ba si tool yëpp ndox bu nekk moom moo nekk si biir biir why do we need to have these water resources in this country and paying for these exorbitant prices for what? loolu dafa nekk loo xam ne ñun kenn suñu mënu ko understand ñu ngi rafetlu ne government bi génn na si fan yu néew ne suba 46 villages wala 46 dëkk si biir dëkk bi ñëpp dinañ mun a am ndox ak courant waaye su fekkee ne ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi nekk si biir dëkk wala ñu nekk si biir dëkk su fekkee ne yow mënuloo am li nga dundee 37% increment bii suñ dooree naka la ñuy ñëpp di mun a fayee pour lii because dem nañ ba gis ne ndox ak courant dafa mujjee nekk ak mbir boo xam ne nii du nekk ak mbir yi baadoole because ñun ñëpp fekkee woon nañ ci amoon na time boo xam ne nii nit ñi suñ toogaan seen biir kër yi di nga am ñoo xam ne dañoo eewu suma fay seen cash powe dem liggéey duñ ko ñëwaat taalaat ba after timis si biir dëkk soo gisee ñun ñëpp yi génn because of lii dafa nekk loo xam ne nii dafa naxari Gambie yëpp te ñu jógee ko CPC yi ko waxee moom moo nekk ne suñu gisee dañoo wax ne jógati ne gars yi jógati ne lu gars yi wax because of am na ñoo xam ne dañ den brand boo xam ne nii opposition bi ñoom ñoo leen di waaye lii moo nekkul mbiri parti lii nekkul mbiri xeet ba pare lii nekkul mbiri affiliation ne Banjul laa dëkk wala fële laa dëkk amul marché opposition amul marché ruling parti courant bi amul tarif opposition amul tarif ruling parti dafa fekk ne lii dafa nekk ni dalal loolu dëkk bi yëpp nga pare su dalee dëkk bi yëpp loolu foog mu am ñeneen ñoo xam ne nii dëkk bi yëpp di mun a génnal loolu foog mu am ñoo xam ne nii ñoom ñooy organise nit ñi pour nit leen si biir dialogue ba pare nit ñi jox leen seen kàddu nit ñi gëm sa bopp foofu la tool fu mu nekk te gëm nañ ne dialogue am na gëm nañ ne dinañ wax ak IGP gëm nañ ne dinañ enter a dialogue through the CPC gëm nañ ne dinañ am a formal request buñ def because of comme ni ko waxee organisation yi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ànd ak PURA dem ak nawet bu gën a ooyee comme briefcase organisation yi nga xam ne dañoo toog rek di dem di sign ay mbir yoo xam ne nii grassroots organisations yi nekkul ci bopp te ñun su fekkee ne ñun silent nañ si lii dañoo betray a whole nation and a cause su fekkee ne lii bàyyi nañ ko mu jàll leneen daf see ñëw teg the price hike on food items mu ngi xew am na leneen ak leneen mu ngi xew waaye su fekkee ne nawet dafa ñëw yokk 37% increment si biir courant bii nii kuy jaay ice $10 daf koo mun a yokk ko $13 because of 36% noonu la demee soo lii mu ngi nekk di dem si dëgg ñun ñëpp ñu ngi nekk di xool ba pare ñu ko nekk di ko xoolee yëpp fekk ñun ñëpp ñu mun a jël step luñ mun a def jëlee step moo nekk turu sensitisation luñ mun a jëlee step mooy nekk turu dialogue waaye su fekkee ne sensitisation boobu dialogue boobu lu ñu xamee woon rek la ñoo demee ñu go to the streets su fekkee ne sensitisation boobu su fekkee ne dialogue boobu ñu go to the streets soo léegi ñu xool nañ pour IGP pour ñu seet naka la ñoo waxee ak moom dinañ dem tamit seet ñu ñoo waxee ak ñeneen because of lii yëpp soo ko gisee dañ gëm ne am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo téye nawet ak ñu xeetoog moom ñoom ñoo nekk di def these shady things behind these Gambians because soo xoolee Sénégal bi nga xam ne moom moo nekk Sénégal mënut a providal Sénégal électricité bu doy su demee ba war a mun a providal nawet électricité because of am na li fa nekk loo xam ne nii nekkul Gambian interest duñ ko su fekkee ne nawet dem na ba owe Sénégal $1 billion government of Gambia mu owe nawet over $750 million let's do the math government of the Gambia moom moo owe so ñun lii nekk na loo xam ne nii bàyyi nañ ko xel ba pare dinañ def consultation dinañ waxtaan si biir radio shows dinañ waxtaan si biir through the print media social media fu nekk dinañ fa def waxtaan ak Gambians waaye lii dina utee ak génne yu daan génn su fekkee ne mu leen a faa egg because of lii naxaari nattkat yëpp ndoor te ñun ñëpp gëm nañ ne si lu ñu nekk nii moom mooy dëgg te ñun ñëpp gëm nañ ne Gambia fu mu nekk li ñu nekk di demee nii su fekkee ne bàyyi nañ ñi dinañ teg yeneen ak yeneen si kaw nit ñi nit ñoo xam ne mënuñoo dunda ba pare nekk seen biir dëkk Gambia nekk si 5th country bi nga xam ne moom moo gën a seer le courant si biir Afrique biir West Africa te Gambia soo ko xoolee ndox bu fi nekk rek mënuñoo dem tout ndox bi fi nekk rek nga xam ne from CRR ba URR soo ko compté ndox bu nekk boo nekk si biir river Gambia mënuloo am river sa biir kër ba pare yow nga ne ndox ak nii sa biir kër ba pare ñu laa caaj ndox loo xam ne mënuñ koo caaj dëkk yoo xam ne is landlocked countries. These are not right te wax bi nekkul te dafa gudda te su fekkee ne gudda na tamit ngeen jégal ñu waaye ñun nii lañ jël ne dinañ enter through consultation with the Gambian people dinañ dem in a dialogue with the public authorities but at the end of the day su biir bu bañ a yàgga su fekkee ne ñoom bu ñoo résolve yi bay gars yi déggu gannaaw si 7% increment bi ñun dinañ gën a si biir dëkk ñu jàmmaarloo jërëjëf.
jërëjëf Fatou Galassi loolu leer na trop comme ni ma ko waxee rek olof bi dañ woon ñëpp ñoo xam ne képp koo xam ne rek yaa ngi déglu wala seetaan si jamono bi pour nga mun a am li nga xam ne rek mooy xibaar bi di acknowledge few people ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñooy teew fii nii Omar champion di la jaajëfal bu bëree bëri li nga jëlee sa wax pour ñëw maa ngi gis Essa Ndiaye tamit ñu nekk ndaw takku nekk lecturer UTV moom tamit maa ngi recognize li nga xam ne rek président ak Omar Camara as well we acknowledge your presence to this press conference. Next, Kuma O Moi Lamin Mane, a concerned Gambian and volunteer for a short statement. More than a statement concerning this press conference. Lamin, you go.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. I will first start by welcoming the media. Thank you so very much for adhering to the call of the concerned citizens and then the organization Team Sabova for championing this and then giving this coordination and a sense of direction because when there is an outcry there, the public is showing a lot of concerns. So that really is, I think, it is genuine for a group like or a team like Team Sabova to champion the cause of this need and influence authorities that need to be influenced so that everything comes back to where it is. If not, it's going to be something that is going to be done right now. Many things I mean, things from transportation, food, electricity, water, everything is skyrocketing. So we need to take things according to the time that we have. And as we speak now, NOx issue is what is on the table, and you would like to take it from NOx point. Yes, electricity is an essential part of modern life. We have to agree that. We have moved away from that traditional ways of living, where you will be using your candle or whatsoever, where women will cook and eat, finish that same dish. But now we move into a generation where women will now cook, put it in the fridge whatsoever, and then use it maybe 3 or 4 days. So when things of those sorts are happening in this country, and NOAC is fully aware of that, I think they are not doing their homework right. And we need to tell them that they are not doing their homework right. NOAC issue is not getting lost because it is creating tensions in the households. Right now, some men and their wives are not on good terms because of NOAC income. Yes. Because if your wife is cooking and then storing the food for about 3 to 4 days so that you can be gradually warming the food for you, and you cannot afford that now, because when you were giving say 1,000 for NOAC, right now you need to give away 2,000 or so for NOAC, and then your kids are going to school. There are loads of things that you have to do to upkeep your family. So NOAC should not be the only body that will stress you, and then you bring down to your family whatsoever. So I think NOAC should also consider that part. And then food, welding, and other stuff. All these things that we do, especially buildings and life itself, have a connection with electricity now. If you want to build your house, you really need NOAC. You really need electricity because at the end of the day, you need welders to make you a window or a door whatsoever so that you can cover it yourself. So NOAC need to also consider that weathermen are now price hiking their doors and their whatsoever, and then it is not a good thing for the citizens. The citizens are crying out loud for those kind of problems. Again, NOAC, I think NOAC is not properly taken serious. Because NAWEC right now is, I am 1 year older than NAWEC. NAWEC is roughly 27 years old. A 27 years old institution that has failed on a good democratic government is not something that we need to, throw our weight behind. And NAWEC right now, Gambia, as we said, is the fifth most expensive, if you are talking about West African, electricity product. Gambia is ranked fifth. Gambia is above only Guinea-Bissau, and we all know Guinea-Bissau of recent these political troubles or mayhem that we are happening with. There is no democracy at Guinea-Bissau, there is no proper democracy at Mali, and Gambia, Mali is on top of Gambia as well. And then you have Liberia and Cape Verde. These are the countries that Gambia is, saying that we are doing better, in terms of development. And you cannot call yourself doing better when those ones are, when every decade or so going through political, tensions that are, jeopardizing their democracy. And you have been observing democracy for at least since your inception. So 27 years old institution, we believe, should be doing great. Should do better than this. If growth comes with responsibilities, so NAWEC should know that the population of this country is growing. So whatsoever that they are doing, they need to expand what they do to ensure that the population meet the requirements. NAWEC has been failing this country for far too long. Since its inception till date, this country has been seeing blackout. This country has been seeing sometimes a whole week no light. So you cannot tell us that you are doing good when 27 years you cannot supply even a portion of a country with a sufficient power supply. That is a huge failure. I think government need to recheck or reshuffle the administration of NAWEC if they want to see the best out of NAWEC, because NAWEC can do better than this. NAWEC can do better than this. And the former speakers here have already deliberate a lot of things that are pertaining to the concerns of the citizens here, and I don't want to waste much of our time going over those things, because the issue of food stuff that are now skyrocketing because of NAWEC's increment, it is not under their control. They have to do it to survive. If you are selling things for $5 and now you have to go to $10 or so, you cannot stay at home because you need that money to upkeep your family. So you just go out there, whatever that you have from the people, you will keep it. But NAWEC have to know that all those problems lies on their heads. They need to go back to the drawing board and ensure that we have a country that we think is best for others.
Thank you very much, Mami, a concerned Gambian and a volunteer, for that statement. I also want to recognize the Vice President of TICO, Tijan Jao. Tijan is right here. Can you say hi to the people? Yes. Tijan is the Vice President of TICO. We also want to recognize the presence of Ibrahim Mahati, who is our representative in Fadikuta. He is commonly known as Mentalist. He has been there for 2 years. So we're now going to welcome the President of TICO, Adi Chan. He's commonly known to all of you as well. Yes, he's going to give a short statement on today's presentation. So thank you.
First of all, I would like to say thank you, a special thank you to the media first. You guys were here 1 hour before everybody. So you guys definitely are playing a bigger role in the sensitization that we need. So Gambia, trust we really appreciate all of you. Also would like to say thank you to Mr. Defadoy, Alpha Omar, nga xamantene dafa joxe ay taar boo xamantene wala ko di kilifa fu mu toog rek àndal ndaw yi di jàppale ndaw yi rek si léegi nag xawal ndaw yi tegu si yoon bi nga xamantene mooy gën a nekk yoon bu gën parce que ñoom yàgg nañ fi ñu fi jiitu ñu ngi yàgg si struggle bi te ñu ngi continuer di ànd ak ñun comme ça teewaay bii nii even though dafa prompt we highly appreciate it te yow loolu bëri si nga mooy suñu spirit ak suñu national people. The big income, you've participated in this campaign. It's been less than 1 week, but people are taking ownership. People have opened up WhatsApp groups randomly to communicate the flyers and the messages. People are communicating on a local level. We highly appreciate everybody's participation. It's not just Kumsobo, but it's Gambia. Gambia is everybody. This is something that, as an organization, is our mandate to stand up and defend what is major concerns in the Gambia. We really don't have the capacity to do everything, as an independent organization, but we try our best and we rely on our partners and people to guide us through this so that we can have something very successful. We are not here to be labeled as people who are coming to cause trouble. We are here as concerned citizens who are wanting to speak on behalf of the general Gambian population who are facing a situation who are Niplara, I'm a police officer, I'm a teacher, I'm a journalist, I'm a leader, I'm a kuijay get staff, I'm a man next massive. Everybody. Go hall the increase in the in the urban areas of $2,440. The good example from journalists who struggle and since salary might be estimated around minimum $2,500. That's the average. Accurate average is $2,500. Example for the journalist. We want to spend $2,440. Meaning that $60 will be the remainder of his or her earnings. Because when you go from a well, I'm asking you get it. Just the example, no whole teacher me. You have to meet 8 o'clock in the morning. The jungle from 8 up to 5, sometimes up to even 6. Coco will receive a base salary of $2,500. Would they say $60? The average Gambian will be more to spend $240, $2,440 on electricity, $1,200 on transport to go to work back and forth. This is like $30 multiplied by if you look. Feeding depends on the depends. Okay, everybody as Gambians, Ben Cadlin, they make sure that we want to eat the best food for the family that we can afford. At least $150. That's minimum salary. Low rate them $4,500. It's a personal side, they get credit, it's a cash power. So you sell your book as a personal human being. Low rate $50 a day, low rate them more than $1,500. The one low them about $9,660. So salary me like $3,500. Just come nice. You are in debt of $6,160 after. So you're not earning while you're gonna go down the drain. So you wanna be in debt. Mota help people, mota hit avalanche people, mota hit. Yana sutra yaga se deka bila. Yana sutra yaga. Mota hit you come support. You said that you have a campaign that can ease the burden so that these people can hear us out, understand you damn monita joke, you joke more please. Begin big that's the concerns of the Gambians because they take up it from it. Now, what I look at this tariff on top of the Gambian people, then again, a middle load, take up. And the flow of the people affect crime, burglary, robbery, drugs. It's a chain walk. And as concerned citizens, you know how much we don't want to see the advancement of the Gambia. We expect authorities to engage us in the dialogue that we are willing to have with them. Because of the Gambian people then son. The new reset is about time that the Defadoy. Defadoy, by this time we really mean it because of we cannot continue year after year like this. And in the new democracy, then again what I remember, we were promised this from coalition, it's in the manifesto that they will provide access to electricity and water to Gambians. That was a promise, a campaign promise. Today we are still in the same situation. On Defadoy. We understand you, we come into your communities, we come into everywhere, we're going to come speak the language that you understand to engage the Gambian people. Parce que nous tamit comme ça pour beaucoup de gens bàyyi ñu affaire ñun dañ soxla nit ñi nekk suñu gannaaw pour tamit ñu mën a am doole bu soxla pour ñi tamit xam ne lii is not just a political thing or is an opposition thing, this is a concern of all Gambians. Parce que all Gambians pay cash power si la yàlla dimbali nga am mita sa kër kon maa ngi ñaax nit ñi suuf security sector bi tamit di leen ñaax yéen parce que dañu leen bëgg a jaxase only time between new civil society or new groups of a social movement rather only time te loolu leen bëgg a mu toog fii police officer bi is suffering from buying cash power. The average is 2,500 but 5,000 xanaa yàlla sutura yaaga rek understand nga war a fay so lii seen concern la so su dara xewee please da leen ñaan ngeen ànd ak ñun si xeex bii nii parce que lii su sootee police officer bi dafa noppali SAS gars bi dafa noppali paramilitary bi tamit dina xalaat am tuuti noppale bu boo xamante ne dina ko gënal kon bu leen ñu xoolee as enemies bu leen ñu xoolee as rebels bu leen ñu xoolee as troublemakers da ngeen ñu xoolee comme seen brothers and sisters ñoo xamante ne ñun ñoo leen a represent on yéen seen behalf parce que we always face the problem of security services dañu oppress when we want to fight for li nga xamante ne mooy suñu constitutional rights please dañ leen ko ñaan dañ leen ko ñaan dañ leen ko ñaanaat with this campaign and any other civic campaign that we have may leen ñu suñu jàmm the late IGP dem si yàlla ji Mamour Diop yàlla ko yàlla yërëm bala moo gaañu waxoon na ne gëm sa boppa respect nañu because of suñu protest bi dafa doy ñu ko waxee woon ak ñu ko defee it was one of the most peaceful and organized the police officers la leen jox dox ñu naan parce que ñu ngi xam ne dëkk baa ngi tàng kon dama bëgg a tamit you the security specifically ngeen gis us from a different eye please parce que yéen da ngeen bokk si lii du toujours ngeen war a sànni teer gaz wala déedéet waxtaan leen ak ñun toujours ay rakaleen am na ay bokk yoo xamante ne ay police leen ay cousins ay fathers ay uncles ay aunties kon please ngeen bàyyi xel loolu lii pour yéen la ñun mën nañoo toog suñu kër ku fi toog fii kenn ku nekk mun naa wax ne sant yàlla am na njëriñ aspaw ak lu métti métti am na fi ñoo xam ne sax am na solo kon su caaxaan demee ba jeex su leen neexoon ñu ne ñoom du taxaw si xeex bi waaye soo gisee ñu koy def tamit because daf leen itteel ba pare daf leen ñor so I'm pleading on the general Gambian population di waxal government bi tamit ne ñoom bu ñu xoolee ne ñun opposition leen ñun we are here we are the sixth arm of the government xam nga dañ lay wax ne nga am xaw ma ñaata arm we are the sixth arm so ñu si government bi leen bokk kon bu leen ñu xoolee opposition da leen fàttaliku ni tey la waaye démb boo bétee woon gëm sa boppam ngeen yaakaaroon pour ñu leen a mobiliser ndaw yi pour advocate for change ba yàlla def change boobu noonu am te the same team gëm sa boppam boobu la suñu neexoon ñu fight for positions wala nekk ay ambassador wala def leneen ak leneen waaye ñun fii lañu yàlla teg kon jàppale lañu suñu xeet yi ngeen bañ ñoo def ay radicals ay criminals ay doom yu réew leen doom yu réew yu jugee ko si waajur yu baax jugee ko si kër yu baax ba pare tamit nekk ñoo xamante ne lii moo ñu ñor incha allah man loolu dama bëgg a mu leer ngeen baal ma nag waaye as head of the organisation li is very very important ba pare tamit as usual suñu amee press conference sécurité yi fi ñu so am na ku fi nekk waaye ñu ngi koo bëggee parce que suñu borom la toujours understand nga dafa teew te ñu ngi ñaan yàlla lu fi mu di jëlee nga dem wax boosam yi ne nii de pare woon def terroriste attaque de nii de demoon di bomb fen de demoon dara lii la gars yi bugg a def lii ak lii la gars yi bugg a def te bugg a engage waxtaan pour cash power bi wàññeeku pour yow suma boss ak man ñi nga xamante ne baax laa liggéeyal si salle bi.
Thank you.
So last but not least, one more thank you to the media. Please, all media that is here present today, we want to add you guys to the database moving forward. Parce que yéen a amee the eyes and the ears of the people. Kon thank you so much. And thank you so much to John Charles Guy for supporting you one way or another. And we are calling on anybody who wants to support li nga xamante ne mooy initiative bii nii ngeen ñëw ngeen support, you know, because of at the end of the day, lii dafa nekk loo xamante ne dugal xam ne xaat kenn joxoo ñu gërëm kenn pusu ñu kenn tamit influence ñu. So we need calling on support from the general masses pour ñu taxaw suñu gannaaw ñu ànd together rather to make sure that this fight is done. Dafa doy team will support. Thank
you very much, Mr. Jam, Ali. He's the president of the also. But now we're going to move to question and answer session. The media, thank you very much again for coming. This is going to be a time for you to ask your questions to the president, spokesperson, whoever you feel like you can answer. So, if you're ready, let me have your names and the institution you're representing. Who is going first? Oh, we are not having any questions. We are okay.
We'll send a copy of the statement as well.
Yes, we'll give you a copy.
Any questions?
Yeah. Okay, let's have Mbaye from Star TV.
Yes, I am Mbaye from Star TV. My question is just, I have you guys mention of the safety of the English. I don't want to send the safety to the public. As you guys say, it's a responsibility to ensure that we send that message to put reference. If you only were concerned with what was the previous time and what was the percentage of the
those kind of so that we can empower those
Yes.
So, jërëjëf si la boobu. So, man dinaa try to answer question boobu. So, before balaa tariff increase bi ñëw nawet soo jëndoon cash power per kilowatt hour benn kilowatt hour di nga spend approximately because of dafa am e-charges ñëpp ñu jëndoon nawet cash power then la charges yi ñu fa. So, the business before we were getting $10.27 for 1 kilowatt hour. One day, that same kilowatt hour, so they will get up. The business did not them up to $14.30. Yeah, low like a 37% increase. So, it's important we program electricity 37% increase. So, low on gender, I'm not 37% increase. So, anyway, she not before, see current tariff being on this number could finish additional charges for water because of what we just straight from same tariff. Before, the non pay $12.27 per cubic meter. Then different categories. Tariff is complex, but if you look tariff, we can share the actual tariff. When the lady same talk so ko jëndee léegi daf laa cost $14.15. So loolu nekk 20% increase. So ñaar yooyu noonu moo nekk one of the main issues loolu si nawet la ba pare xam nañ ne transportation yokku na before yaa doon fay $10 pour ñëw ba fii su doon $10 what léegi yaa ngi fay $13 plus. So loolu nekk main tariff increases yi si suñu statement bi ñu ngi ko breakdown design on me, no how many young digging communities. So any other question? How are they going for that? Yes. Yes, we'll give you all. But any you wanted sorry, let me let you.
No, landing.
Yes. Let me see second part. My question is basically, have you guys started engaging the relevant authorities regarding this issue? If you already started, how far are you with this people? And also, with regards to the plan protest, if the relevant authorities did not act quick or they refuse to act. We all know how sarcastic our public order act is. Sometimes the police will go there and deny you deliberately without any genuine reason. In a case where you people are denied, permit to go out peacefully to protest, what would be your next step? That's my questions.
So as for the first question, actually the campaign starts now. Now, so usually we are starting as our said. We engage the relevant authorities as mentioned earlier, starting from now, and we promise to keep the media updated, and posted with our developments as they happen live and direct.
Just to supplement some responses. So we did go and meet up with Pura. We did have a conversation with Pura during the Ramadan period. You can remember, that was when this tariff increase happened. And I think that has caught many Gambians by surprise because the increase occurred within the Ramadan period. So perhaps the government was very smart with its positioning of when they were going to do that. Pura did tell us that they have done some level of consultation, which my uncle was even alluding to, but not enough clear, because many of us, as you can see, they did not even engage CPC. The Consumer Protection Consortium was not engaged, let alone us and the ordinary Gambians. So we are telling Pura that they have not done their job with regards to engaging Gambians sufficiently. That's the first question. With regards to the protest, we believe your rights are God-given, and nobody is going to even hand it over to you. We have to fight for our rights. We are putting the police on notice because of actually we the taxpayers, the Gambian taxpayers, are the ones who are paying for all of these security forces. And we've already appealed for them to understand
What we are fighting for is for all of them. We anticipate that they may be reluctant, like they have, because of the track record. But one thing which we are going to do is we are not going to surrender our rights. We are not going to surrender our rights. That's the first thing. And secondly, we first want to engage in dialogue. So it's up to them.
Yeah.
If they engage us in dialogue and we feel that this is really moving in the right direction, it may not get to that. But we understand that this government, the message that they understand is protest. And if we have to, we will speak that language.
Like, off of our experience as Team Books of Border, requesting for a permit is the process that we always abide by. But it does not stop us from doing what we have to do, because it is enshrined in the Constitution that every citizen has the right to gather peacefully. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to also state here that with regards to the CPC, you know, sometimes it's not all about giving. You can express yourself with protest through many other means other than going out in the street and, you know, having, you know, problems with the security. Supposedly you are not giving the permit. You see, there are several ways that you can protest. You can organize sit-down strikes, you can defiance in many ways. So these are things that for the young ones, I know, sometimes it can be very sensational. But you know, as long as we are working together, and we want to reassure you that we will not leave you behind in Gonzalo, because you are fighting on our behalf as consumer protection association. This is about consumer interest and welfare. So we will be working hand in hand with you. And for us, you know, of course, we don't rule out anything at the end of the day. And we respect your position of even, you know, your right to protest and go out, demonstrations. But first of all, we said there will be dialogue. There will be dialogue. And if you open up to dialogue, certainly we are very optimistic that Pura and all the other stakeholders would listen and they would reason. And we are confident that we would negotiate and we would come to an agreement that is in the interest of consumers. We include both NAWEC staff, even NAWEC staff, and government, and whichever political party you belong to, or whatever sphere of life you come from, okay, or whatever institution you belong to. This would affect each and everyone as consumers. But we are not also ruling out litigation. All right? Yes. In the event that, you know, sometimes you have, you know, discussions and negotiations, but if you don't arrive at an agreement, that is why we said we are going to lodge a formal complaint alongside this. And we can rely on the courts to seek redress and get this revised. So I'm saying it's not all about protests and demonstrations outside. All right? And we are in this together with the CPC.
I have a question. Yes. You are regulating so many things, water, electricity, telecoms, as well. It is not only that way. The telecom, industry, they are definitely reading that. We have the worst telecommunication system in this country. In Africa, you cross border, you don't have phone, and then you release that phone the other. So, like, the more you log into your Facebook, the more they still keep stealing your megabyte. With your engagement with Pura, have you included the telecommunications aspect to discuss with them, because they are the ones regulating this thing as well?
Can we please direct your question to a particular person?
So, okay, the two of us, we can both answer because of we engage here and they engage here.
But so just to keep it precise and more.
No problem. Yeah. So just to answer his question, and next time, but just to say, when we spoke to Pura, we were speaking to them only on electricity and water. That's what we were speaking to them. We know the telecoms has been an issue, and if I remember, it was a major problem some years back when even some companies increased their tariff without even informing, the members of the public, and their bikes was going very quickly. I think Pura did some very minute punishment, which obviously is not commensurable to what they did. But we would like to take this opportunity to remind Pura, it is not just about price increases. Pura needs to look at standard and quality. You talk about the 4G. Is it actually 4G? So these are the things that Pura also have to look. If people were getting high-speed internet at reasonable or even a little bit more expensive prices, one would not complain. Even us in the media, when we are streaming, we are trying to stream videos to go out. You see that many times it's failing. Just because the internet is not good, the quality, what you are paying for, the megabytes per second which you are paying for, we are not getting. So obviously, we don't want to put so many things all into one pot. Or else when we go to have a dialogue, probably we will never ever come out to tell the Gambian people that this is what we have concluded. But definitely, my brother, you highlight an issue which is a concern to everybody in this country. And it highlights, thank God, you know what you had, the list that he was talking about, the expenditures, we do not even add 4G. So now imagine if we added that, it would be way back. So Pura has a lot of work to do. They need to regulate standards. It's not just about price increases all the time. Quality and standard regulation is what Pura must be focusing on. And if they fix that, a lot of things will be done.
And also to add on to that, right, I want you to understand, like as a movement, we are trying to build an environment where people can actually voice out their concerns as the direct consumers. That's the type of culture that we need to encourage, so that the people that are directly affected will have the willpower to voice their concerns collectively. And I believe the Defadoy campaign is a step in the right direction towards other things. Because now if the 37% increase affects these GSM companies and they increase by 37% again, my brother, it's going to be way more than 7% worse than what you already considered about. So I believe this is a step in the right direction to give us the framework on the priorities, and I believe we can get there. But
I just want to respond. As far as the CPC, the Consumer Protection Consortium, is concerned, I think, yes, we might need to really, use the media more. But it was when this 4G issue came up, we in fact went out and called a press conference, and we also went to one of these telephone service providers who claimed false 4G. We took them to the Gambia Competitions and Consumer Protection Commission. And, we filed a formal complaint and took them. And there were several challenges that we put forth. It was not only about the 4G, which we felt was misleading and false, but also we understood that they were giving ringing tones, ringing tone to consumers who did not request for that. All right? And also there was the social media bundle, for which they would tell you to subscribe. And then once you subscribe once, and that is where they deduct $10, for on a daily basis. So, and once you subscribe once, that is automatic, not to the knowledge of the consumers. Okay? And every day subsequently, they will be every day, whether you subscribe or you don't, they will continue to deduct $10. We have taken the telephone service, companies to on ADR, that is alternative dispute resolution. We went to a point, and that is still not resolved. All right, but we have seen some improvements, and there were promises made. This is about regulation. PURA is also responsible, certainly, for the utilities as well as for the telephone services. But there is also this issue of the media, okay? Especially when it comes to false and misleading advertisements. Which PURA is also supposed to regulate. We know we have the Medicines Control Agency when it comes to, false advertisements and drugs and so on that enter our markets. And so all these are very, very key issues that as consumers, we are concerned, okay? And PURA is the regulator that is responsible for this. But we are not only engaging PURA. This is not about PURA alone. This is about engaging all those institutions, okay, that have a mandate to regulate, and they are failing in this country. And we will continue to take this up. But since this press conference is about NAWE and electricity and water, we would just leave it at this. But we would encourage the journalists to engage subsequently, to engage the Consumer Protection Commission or Consortium. If you want to know what is being done with regards to transport, challenges that we have, medicine challenges that we have, the essential commodities skyrocketing that we have, what is being done with the fluctuations in the prices, misleading advertisements, and so on and so forth. Okay? This is our position, and we want to make it.
Thank you, sir. And let's keep our questions very precise because we know Zuma is very yeah. Mike?
Yes, I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
If Mr. President can help me with this. The press conference is going to have, and the purpose is for the media to investigate the message to the public. And quoting of reference sometimes is too hard. Other organizations will call for the press conference. And Mr. President said you have two steps to take. One is to apply the public, and two, you are also right. With both of them is positive. But are we come back in case family is denied or the dialogue is accepted and it goes through? Because some will call for a president after dialogue.
Yeah, that's very unfair. I believe that that's very unfair for those that do that. Shame on you for doing such. Unfortunately, that's why I mentioned earlier, you guys are part of this fight, and we cannot do this even without you. So us doing any engagement without interacting with you guys, to us, is a piece of the puzzle that is not complete. I believe that the media is a piece of this puzzle, just like civil society, just like the people on the grassroots, just like the people that we have a dialogue with, just like CPC. That's how we have the media. And us not engaging the media, to us, that's not even good for our community. It's a strategy as a social movement that relies on effective communication. So be rest assured, no man is perfect, but I do have trust in our able media team, which consists of Mariam Opoyan, Yusuf, and many young ones here, for them to execute that, and we will highlight that and take note to make sure that that will not happen like those that do that. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions? Are we good?
Okay.
Okay. I will now call on Yusuf or Ali to give the vote of thanks before we call the day.
So, vote of thanks. Like I said, first I would like to thank the media. Thank you so much. I would like to thank the general Gambian population, the people that still supported this campaign from the start. And we encourage everybody to support us in this campaign. The support comes in many ways, by sharing flyers, by taking 30 seconds videos of how this happened through. There's many ways that you can get involved. And we are also thanking our elder here who has spiced up this press conference with even more professionalism and maturity as a higher table. We would also like to thank volunteers, my brother Lamin, Mr. Yei, Usiru Gambia, who has been in and out. He hasn't been sleeping. He's been here since 7 o'clock. He said we'll be here at 9 o'clock. He's here at 7 o'clock, my friend. So we have to definitely, and the coordinators who are here. The movement is open for people who want to join the movement. It's a movement for social change, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of political affiliation. As long as you are Gambian, we need you on board. and everybody's highly welcome. Follow our social media pages. We will communicate many things there. And last but not least, thanks to everybody who supported this one way or another. We mentioned names. Trust me, there's a lot of people that we will definitely forget. So thanks to the team who support. We know how hard it is to try to do such campaigns, and the time and sacrifice that it takes. YMCA, once again, John Johnson, guy who is always available for us, and everybody that I forgot or I did not mention. Ngeen xam ne su ma leen la waaye def nañ fi suñu xol te di ñaan yàlla ne lii yàlla def affaire si wàññeeku ñu ñëpp gën a mën a kontaan ñu dugg si beneen combat parce que Gambie bu combat yi jërë ngeen jëf bi baax